Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to Ali Naimol Talk Show on Temporal Africa TV. So today is a one unique day. Happy May 1st to everyone. As you guys can all see, the summer is finally kicking in, or late spring, I would say. Not sure if I would say late spring. But the time of the lilac season, as soon as you know there's lilacs growing, that's when you know the weather is going to be perfect for the rest of the year until we see winter again. Today we have a guest, a very special guest that will be joining us today on Temporal Africa TV. And of course has the title linked there. Her name is Nyajuok Tongyik. She has a book released today. Like, I'm talking about today. The book is available on Amazon, and there's a couple of other links as well. So if you go on her page on Facebook, Nyajuok Tongyik, you will see a lot more content about her book. And the book is titled, I Am My Mother's Wildest Dream. So that is the title of the book, and it's going to talk a lot about the community. It's basically her story, her journey, and she is going to give us a little overview about that. And of course, you know, she's been doing a lot of interviews back to back, so this is a one fascinating book that everyone should read. When we share our stories, when we share our testimonies, are the things that changes communities, that changes lives, you know, because our testimonies are the growth in our community and the development, the way of life. So I am very honored, and Temporal Africa TV, we are very honored to have her here today. And we would love to bring her on and introduce her to you guys so she can give a little introduction, and then we will go furthermore into about the book. All right, there she is. Nyajuok, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you here at Temporal Africa TV for the first time. So to all the diaspora, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. This is generalizing Africa altogether, okay? Because us Africans, we have so many things that we go through and so many stories that we hold in and we don't let out. And so I'm very honored to present this young lady to you guys, and she's gonna go ahead and share her story with us. And this is a good admiration and inspiration to all rest of the African in the diaspora world as well. So an entrepreneur, author, here she is. So please introduce yourself.
I had responsibility at a very young age. I was a mom at 17. I was working full-time, been working since I was 14. And and I finished nursing school, went to college, got my bachelor in nursing, and I joined the Army. So I was an Army nurse for 10 and a half years. And during that time, I had 2 boys, so 5 now and a 3. And I've worked every single day of my life since I was 14, except those time I had my babies. So juggling life, multitasking, being a mother, a wife, a nurse, an entrepreneur, a business person, and helping a leader in my business has been very, very, very difficult. But I knew that it's a purpose that I need to do to get to where I want to be in life. So this week has been a testimony of how hard it is to be a woman, to be a mom, to be an entrepreneur, to have a book coming out and raising a family. I felt it this week, but I know it's something that I need to do. It has a bigger purpose. I am a leader. I'm leading people, and I'm leading myself and my family. So I had to man up. So it's been an honor.
We're so proud of you. Those are not easy things, absolutely. So we're so proud of you for the journey and that you're sharing it with us as well. So what made you decide to join the military? Give us a little bit about your military background. How did you decide to serve the United States military?
That's a question that I get a lot, and that's a question that I try to avoid a lot. And,
I bet, you know, because I feel like, you know, we make those depth decisions, whether it's something that just shift our mind or relating to whatever we felt, you know, at that moment. So now we want to hear why you decided to join the military, because that is huge for somebody who is a mom at the time, and also, you know, you're a woman.
Yeah. I'm a woman, and I'm not just only a woman, I'm a woman from South Sudan. Our women, you know, here in America, they don't join military.
No, we never hear that. You're the You're the
Yeah,
first.
we have few girls now in the military, but I was probably one of the first ones that joined in our community at that time because I joined in 2019 and or 2009. Sorry, 2009. And Yamal, when I joined the military, the reason I try to avoid that question is because it's very, very emotional and very personal. I talked
Yeah.
about it in the book. My brother, I joined because of my brother quit. My brother quit was in the military before me. He's my oldest brother.
Okay.
He went to the military. He got out of the military in 2005. And in 2005, I was in nursing school. I was actually taking psych classes. When he came back from the military, he was not physically wounded, but he was mentally wounded.
Yeah.
He came back, he had depression, he has anxiety. He was in a really bad place mentally, and he tried to commit suicide. So when he tried to commit suicide, as you can see, it took a toll on a family. So it took a toll on my family, especially our mother. And I find myself, my brother and I are very close. I found myself helping him with medical appointments, going to his therapy classes with him. And I got really interested in his life and what he did in the military. I think about him all the time, and I'm like, even though he was not wounded physically, he came back wounded. And it took a lot of other medical personnel to get my brother back home. And I wanted to do that for somebody's brother. So I wanted to serve. I wanted to honor my brother's service, but also I was thankful for people that helped my brother to get back home to us, and I wanted to give back to them. So I served for my brother quit, and I wanted to. I was just thankful for the medical personnel that got him back. And it's very difficult because we're still in the process of him healing and recovering, and it just it's unfortunate that I had to go through the same thing that he went through 10 years ago. I found myself in the same same mindset in 2019 and 18. So that's why it's difficult. It's difficult to talk about that, but
Yeah.
I was brave enough to write it down, and it's in one of the chapters. It's called "Quit Fight for His Life." So
Yeah. Oh, that is amazing. That's very mean. That's a huge dedication that you decide to dedicate to your brother as well. And for those of you who are watching, definitely get the book to hear the answer to those questions at a deeper level. Thank you for answering that too as well. It is a huge step and a huge challenge for being the first South Sudanese woman as well in the military. So, and with your other, when you were going to nursing school at the time, so give us a little bit more about your nursing background. You were still in nursing, or you finished nursing when you joined the military? How did that work at the time? Because it seems like they were all kind of happening at like a very close chronicle timeline.
yeah, I so in 2000 and when did I graduate high school? I graduated high school in '03.
Mm-hmm.
So right out of high school, I went to a community college. Because remember, I was a young mom. I had my
Yeah.
daughter at 17, and I didn't do so well in high school. I had like a 2.7 GPA in high school, so I could not go straight to a university. I had to go to a community college, and I was already married at that time and living with my husband and my daughter,
Yeah.
very young. So I went to a community school in Omaha called Metro Community College. So I went there for a year. And then after that, I had separated from my spouse or divorced at the time, and moved to a little town so I can be close to my parents, specifically my mom, so she can help with my daughter. So I enrolled in nursing school, and that's a 4-year college. My daughter was probably 5 at the time, and because I graduated in 2009, she was 7. So I was a single mom on welfare, working part-time kind of thing at night at a nursing assistant and going to school full-time. So it was also hard. I was on Medicaid, I was on Medicare, or Medicaid, food stamps. I was a typical, stereotypical for African American woman on welfare. That was me. I did that. And in 2009, like I said, when I graduated, only my brother knew that I had joined the Army, that I was
Wow.
going to Fort Sam Houston, active duty, full-time Army nurse. My family, we hid it from my family for 2 years. They didn't know because they would have not given me their blessing because they know what the military has done to my brother. And my
Yeah.
mom was blaming the Army for it. So I told Quid, I'm going to go and we're not going to tell them. And he didn't tell them. And I didn't tell them until one time I went home for my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And that's when we told my parents, and they were very disappointed, especially my mother.
And this is when they were finding out that you actually joined the military.
They found out after I had already been in for 6 months.
Wow, what was their reaction? Please tell us.
My brother Quiz was there. It was me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And I told my dad, I said, because I told them that I'm working for the government. I said I got a government job as a nurse in Texas, and we are moving. Me and Marna were moving, and that's all they know. They didn't know that I was literally in the military working 24/7 as an Army nurse. So when we sat them
You
down
kept
and
that
told
secret
them,
well.
my mom cried. Her heart was broken. I broke her heart. And she said, the military are going to kill you like they killed your brother. She said, I brought you all here to America to die. This is how you're choosing to die. She was very disappointed and just heartbroken. My dad tried to explain to my mom that, Nyajuok is a nurse. She's an officer in the United States Army. Her job is completely different than Quid's job, what Quid did. My brother was infantry, which is a very, very hard job. So he did his best, try to explain it to my mom that we had different jobs and my job was much safer than my brother, but she wouldn't have it. I don't think she even was listening. Yeah.
She probably already had enough of what she saw with your brother and couldn't handle
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. She's not listening. She literally thought we were just all gonna, die here in the military. It wasn't until 2013 when I went back home to tell her that I was deploying to Afghanistan. So I went home all this time, like for 4 years. She was avoiding my job. She could not believe it. She was pretending that I was not doing that. But one day I went home and I told her, Mom, I'm going to Afghanistan. I'm going to war and I'm going to be there for a long time. She looked at me and she said, Nyajuok, if this is what you choose to do, and if God say this is how you're going to die, I give you my blessing. You can go. And that's when she accepted my job for the first time. Yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that last part there. If this is how you're expecting to die, I give you my blessing. That's our true mothers.
Yeah. She prayed for me all the time. I mean, that lady prayed for all of us every single day. But as a nurse in the Army, that's what I did 24/7. That was my job.
So did you do a lot of the nursing in the Army as well? Or explain your position a little bit more in the Army.
Yeah, so when it comes to practice, nursing practice, whether you're in the Army or you're in the civilian sector, it's the same practice. We care for patients, right? It's the same way. The biggest difference is it comes when deploying. You go into a combat zone, you have roles that you don't play when you're in the civilian or when you're back home.
Mm-hmm.
So my job here in San Antonio, Texas, I moved 4 times in my military career, almost every 2 years to move to a new location. Initially, I was a brand new nurse, so their job was to teach me to be a nurse, to take care of a patient, and to recognize when a patient is under a critical condition and implement life-saving events. That was my job for 4 years. And they did a very good job. I was a cardiac nurse, so I took care of cardiac patients that are coming in for chest pain, coming in for cardiac arrest, coming in, they just have a bypass or heart surgery. Mm-hmm. I did that for 4 years. And then after that 4 years, I deployed Afghanistan, and when I came back, I found myself in a leadership role. I was no longer taking care of patients directly. I was in charge of helping nurses or overseeing a nursing unit. So I was in charge of a whole unit of 36 beds, over 100 nurses. I was overseeing them as their leader, as their manager. And that's a different role than when you are literally in direct patient care. And that's what I did for my last 7 years in the military. It was in a leadership role. So It was different, and leading, basically just leading people and being an example for them, making sure that they heard you, you listen to them, you hear their concerns, give them resources when they need resources, and just being available for them. So that's what I did, and that's what military is all about, is to teach us being leaders, because anybody can take care of patients, but not everybody can lead and be a commander. So that was my job, is to learn how to lead.
More bravos to you, stronger than ever. Um, so how has all of this, like how do you see the world, with all of this experience that you've had, especially with the military and being deployed to Afghanistan? Um, how has that affected you? How do you see things now? I'm just kind of curious, even for our audience too, maybe we would like to know, how do you see the world?
Well, it's very political.
Yeah.
um,
I mean, just
yeah,
from like your own perspective, because it's like sometimes, like for example, with myself, I could see a wounded person, and maybe like seeing that situation make me realize something else that could be more meaningful in life, because some of
yeah.
those things, like they do open our mind. We become more open-minded to the world and the life as a whole in general. So I guess it might be like a much deeper question. But yeah, like how do you reflect on it?
I've been on both sides of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've been poor, literally, with nothing,
Yeah.
in a refugees camp. And you and I came from the same refugees camp. There's nothing there. We wait for food every 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
And if the food did not arrive, because we know it rains a lot in Ethiopia, if it rains and the UN truck got abandoned somewhere, then we wait for food. If
Yeah.
our mothers don't go and collect woods to go sell to feed us, we would starve. So I've seen both sides of the world. Right now, I'm in the side where I will. I never went hungry unless I choose to. My kids have lights, they have water, they have a house, and pretty much I have everything I need now. So I know what it's like to come from nothing and have something, and what it takes in between. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at the world, I know that there are different types of people and there's different stories, and you really don't know what's going on in someone's life unless they tell you.
Yes.
So I try to be cognizant of that even if they are smiling, they're happy, and they look like they get it all together,
Yeah.
that is not always as it appears, you know. So there are great people,
Mm-hmm.
people that want to serve, people that want to help each other, people that's, our intentions as human are always good. We don't get up one day and say, I'm going to harm somebody today, or I'm going to go do harm. We always wake up and say, I'm going to do my best today, and I'm going to help somebody, I'm going to give love. But then, we face things, maybe somebody on the street say something mean to us, or, remind us of our past, and, we do something that we didn't mean to do. So I pay attention to the world. I think we are humans are great, but then there's those instances where we do harm, even if it's not our intentions. So I want everybody to, I would love everybody to, if you're born rich and born privileged, maybe travel to an area where people they don't have what you had, and see what they live like. And if you are born poor, I hope books like mine, you can read books like mine and encourage you that one day too, you won't be in your circumstances forever. You will get out of that circumstances, and you get to live on the other side of life where you have everything. And that's why I wrote this book. I wrote it that people that are in that condition can have can have hope that one day their life can be better, and it will not always be this way. So that's how I see my world. My world is always revolving. My world is never stagnant. And I hope people will also know that their life is never going to be like that forever, especially if it's a difficult life right now. It's just live one day at a time. Get over today. Tomorrow will get better. And that's my hope for anybody that read this book.
Amen. Amen. And thank you for answering that. Because I mean, the world we live in today with the pandemic and all these different lives going on, you definitely answered a lot of that, you know. Um, so I appreciate you for answering that. And of course, you know, like, you know, when you said like it could be a little political earlier, like we are in a very political realm where you're either on like this side or this side, and people have kind of gone disconnected from that, you know, humanity way of thinking that yes, we're all different, and the way we view the world is this is how we can come together. So your answer is really a very unifying answer. Um, Now we are kind of towards the end of the live stream. So now let's talk about the book. The book is released and people can purchase it on Amazon. Is there any other app that people can purchase it on as well? Here's the book, I Am My Mother's Wildest Dream. So for all of you that is watching, it's worth reading. It is worth reading. So give us a little bit more information where they can purchase it, in case people don't have Amazon account as well, and how people can find you.
Yeah, that's great. The book is on Amazon. It's currently popping on Amazon. People are going in and buying and telling you how what's they thinking about the book, where they are. Some people already finished the book.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
so
guys are
Amazon.
busy, just pushing it out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the exciting moment.
it's really busy. We have a team of individuals that have been up for the past 2 nights just to make sure this book is perfect on Amazon, and I appreciate them. I'm very grateful for them for making sure that's happening. They also believe in this book as much as I believe in it. It is on Amazon. At this time, it's only on Amazon. And we are offering on for $5.99, which is it's very affordable for almost everybody,
Yeah.
and it's on digital or only. So if anybody that has a reading device, whether it's their phone, their tablets, or their computer, they can order it by just having an email, and it will be delivered to their reading device right away.
Okay.
And that was done on purpose. Why we did this is because we have a lot of people that don't have addresses that can not get it right away and read. And we want everybody to read this book. That's why we price it the way it is, so everybody, most people can afford it, and why we only doing digital at this time. I do also have a website. It's called IamNyatongyik.com. IamNyatongyik.com. It's the book is on there, but this is where you're going to purchase your hard copy when we make it available.
Okay.
And at this time, I don't know when the hard copy is going to be available. It will, but now we are pushing for the digital, and we are going for the bestseller on Amazon. So we need everybody to go in and purchase their copy. And when they do, we want them to make a post on their Instagram, their Facebook, on their Twitter, and say, "I got my copy. I got my copy." And now, they're
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Hopefully we'll be able to see it on Barnes and Noble and other places as well. So we look forward to each update as time goes on. So make sure you click on the link on IamNyatongyik.com, as you mentioned earlier, and yeah, check out the book. And on Amazon, put in the title, I Am My Mother's Wildest Dream. So this book is available today. So as soon as you submit your order, it will go to your email so that you can go ahead and get your e-read digital. Now that, thank you for everything. So is there anything you want to tell our audience? Is there a message that you want to get across to them? What would you want to tell?
Well, so first of all, the book is for everybody. We all been through ups and downs in our lives, and it will encourage you, and you will have something that is relatable to you. You'll find it in this book because we're human. Our lives are in a parallel lines, one way or another. So it's inspirational, uplifting for everybody, but it's mainly for the Southern Sudanese community. So And my, my hope for them is that when they read this book, instead of thinking that, why did she share this, or this is too intimate, or, it's so personal, she should have not shared this. There are very, my hope is that
Your voice is cutting a little bit.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can hear it. So instead of thinking that way, I'm hoping they're gonna see it as, let me see why I'm seeing my finger. Okay, my hope is that they're gonna see it as a conversation starter. It's something that's gonna allow them to internalize what's going on in their own families, what's going on in their lives, and talk to each other in their families. Like, are you okay? How do you feel about this when this and this happened to you? Let's talk. I'm here to listen. And that's my hope, is that that's what's going to happen in our homes, in our communities, is to really sit down and listen to our daughters, listen to our young boys, and just give them a place to vent, because we're a community that we don't have people that we can vent to, because we find ourselves easily being shut down, being told, oh, that's okay, you're fine, or we don't talk about those things, or, man up, or we hear those all the time. And I'm hoping this is something that's going to allow us to actually listen to our brothers or sisters. And
definitely a great transition. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a great transition. Well, more blessing to you, and we'll just keep watching. And can't wait to read the book myself. So for everyone that is watching, thank you. Please share this video. This is definitely a story that can relate to any of you. Including the diaspora as well. Anyone in the diaspora, even from the African community, definitely get the book, and it's something that can relate to a lot of other people as well. So coming from a South Sudanese community, like, this is huge. This is very big. So again, thank you so much, Nyajuok, for coming on, and we will hope to see you in the future.
Thank you, Namala. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I love your dress, by the way. It's beautiful.
Thank you. This is one of Newbie Collection's designs, so we'll link up a little more on that.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Well,
have a wonderful night, everyone.
Yeah.
Du nouveau à Minneapolis, Tempo Afrique Travel. Vous voulez voyager? Achetez vos billets d'avion à l'agence de voyage Tempo Afrique.